Welcome to Come Family number 2. I'm your host, Echo Fan Grey Wolf. We're going to make some Gatorade and do a chit chat. I will not be filming tonight. I'm going to bed early. I've had a long weekend. I didn't really get to accomplish anything outside of buying a new tablet. It's in the drawer behind me. Anyway, ankle's still swollen. It's a little bit more recognizable now, but it's still swollen. I would like to say I did a shout out to a young indigenous warrior last night, and she laid the smackdown. She laid a verbal smackdown on a young black woman who refuses to claim her blackness. Now, she could be like me. She very well could be mixed, but she don't want to claim her blackness. She wants to erase African culture as much as she wants to erase indigenous culture. And if you guys been riding with me long enough, you know that I am mixed native, mixed black, and mixed white. Now, understand, as an actor, as of the last 20-something years, I have gone as mixed. And as this 20 years coming with the name change from James Williams Jr. to Echo Fan Grey Wolf, I am not having a racial identity problem, but I want to be a working actor. And so to do that, I'm going to have to be native. Because phenotypically, I look more native than black to most people. Now, I know I probably should have done this 20 some odd years ago. But I didn't have a cool name. So we're going to go through a list of names that I had so that you guys can get your laugh off. My very first acting name that I was going to go by was not mine because there's a lot of James Williamses out there. Whole lot. And two of them specifically, Everybody Hates Chris and the captain from the original TV show 21 Jump Street. Now, I don't know if his last name is Williams, but I do know his first name is James something or another. You probably don't remember him from 21 Jump Street. You probably remember him from the TV show Supernatural as Bobby Singer's partner and friend. Okay? Now, my government name is James Edward Williams Jr. And there are a lot of us out there. And I don't hate my name necessarily. There's just one too many James Williams Jr.'s. So, as a kid, I had the biggest crush on this actress named Stephanie Kramer. And about the time I decided that I really wanted to get into acting, Brandon Lee had passed. So to honor Brandon Lee, my name was going to be Brandon Bruce Kramer. And then I got rid of the Bruce, and it was just Brandon Kramer. And I still got rejected regardless. But whenever I went to casting calls, my dumb ass forgot my stage name, so I always put James Williams Jr., right? And they would never call me anyway. They would never give me the time of day whatsoever. They just wouldn't. I'm throwing this one away. There's like mold or something developing in this thing. Anyway, I also have ginger ale. So, my very first name was Brandon Bruce Kramer, then just Brandon Kramer, and then it was Fang Fang. My late nephew gave me this name when he was like a little baby. He kept calling me Fang Fang, so I kept it. And none of them was really resonating, and so I went back to James Williams Jr. Especially when I went on casting calls and shit, I constantly put James Williams Jr. down. Now, here's where life gets kind of funny. And had I done it back then, I probably would be in a little better shape than I am now. I should have took a Native American name, which I have done. But I didn't. Damn it. But I probably should have did it then. But I didn't. And I'm talking about the incident where I was at the Evan Almighty extras. And the lady said, "You're native and you need to go and go down there to try to do the movie Conquest because they need natives that were extras or whatever." My dumb ass, one, I didn't have a car, and two, I'm a horrible liar. So when she said you're native, and I said no, ma'am, I'm mixed native, and she's like, well, you look native enough to me. You need to go down there. And I was like, well, if you give me a ride, I will gladly go because I don't have any money. I didn't have a car, and I really wanted to do this acting thing, and nothing was coming out of it, you know. And I didn't even get to get in Evan Almighty. And on top of that, Millennium Studios was supposed to show up in Virginia. And they did. Posthumously, they did. But Millennium Studios wouldn't give James Williams Jr., Brandon Kamer, Frank Fang any kind of job whatsoever. And they probably won't give Echo Fang Grey Wolf one either if they ever see this damn video. But they do have my movie called Fallen Dragons. And yeah, it sucked. But they also told me that they didn't do Kung Fu movies. And then a year to the day of telling me that shit, they released The Expendables. Then eventually Millennium became more of a distributing company versus an actual movie studio, which really kind of fucking sucked because when I went there, the first thing they said was, if you don't have a SAG card, I didn't know what that fucking was. I didn't know the Screen Actor Guilds even existed until that day. And if you didn't have an appointment, you couldn't come in. And thank you, what the fuck was his name? It was either Ray or Roy something. And he said, go make this movie and then send it back and we'll talk. So I made the movie Fallen Dragons and we didn't talk. What I got back was, sorry, your movie's not all that great, or your movie pretty much sucks, and we don't do Kung Fu movies. Okay, cool. Now, prior to having to go make the movie, I specifically, when I was talking to the people at the door before I talked to Mr. Ray or Mr. Roy, and I said, yo, are y'all going to make scary movies? Are you going to make action movies? Are you going to make dramas? What are you going to do? Because I'm ready to go. I got stories ready to go, and they wouldn't give me a job. I said, look, if you don't want to hire me as an actor, hire me as a writer. Hire me as a janitor. Hire me as a dishwasher. Hire me as something. And they wouldn't. And then I was leaving pissed off, and I met Ray or Roy or whatever the hell his name is. And, or was at the time, because I don't know if he's still alive. I never got to meet Mr. Reed, and that pissed me off. And as a mixed person, I've never really been given a fair shot to actually do a lot of acting. The last thing I went to was like before the pandemic, where I had to do a script with Pop's cereal. All the other actors gave me my accolades, but the people who were running the show just didn't want me. So I was like, okay, cool. And I've learned not to be a bad sport about being rejected, because I've been rejected all my life in all matters of life. So you kind of go with it. You accept it and you move on, and you can't let rejection turn you into a piece of shit. Especially if you're getting into this business, because here I am at 49, and I've been doing this since I was like 27, maybe younger. How old was I in 97, 99, 97? Hold on, let's do some Googling. What year did Millennium Studios come to Virginia? I ain't saying nothing about no Chicago. Let's try that again. That's definitely not it, because it was here before the 2000s. In what year did Tim Reed own Millennium Studios in Virginia? 1997. So Tim Reed built New Millennium Studios in 1997, located in Petersburg, Virginia, on 7.4 acres at the site, with 14,850 square feet. Studio was both the only black-owned studio in the United States since 1930, but was also the largest independent film studio outside of Hollywood. But they still wouldn't give me a job. Okay, so how old was I in 97? Because I started making movies between 97 and 99. Where's my calculator? That's the calendar. Might want to learn how to read. Alright, so 1997. It's 1993. God damn it, that's the wrong number. Sorry, y'all. Sometimes I forget how old I am. Okay, so I was 24. Alright? So, perfect age, actually. But I actually think I tried to do acting before that. Actually, I did try to do acting before that, because a year before that I was 23. So, 96. Because I knew about Millennium a year before it got here. So, it came in 97. And I was 24 in 97, so I was 23 in 96. So, 49 minus 23. I've been in this business for 26 years. Alright? Hold on. No. I've been in this business for 27 years because I actually started before that, like in 95, because Power Rangers was on for 3 years. My cousin and I was supposed to go to New York for tryouts, but he backed out on me at the last minute. And so I wound up giving all the money to like my mom and them because I didn't want to go to New York by myself. And no sooner than we did that, they were there. They were in fucking New York. My cousin's aunt was dating a cop at the time, and he could have got us tickets to get in so that we could audition. And I let it all go. Yeah, I didn't even know about this shit until like the next week. He's like, man, why didn't y'all come to New York? You could have got your chance, man, because he was pretty tight with me and my cousin, even though him and my cousin's aunt was breaking up. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, man, the Power Rangers was doing auditions up there. And not too long after that, Trini, Zach, and Jason were doing some other little samurai thing because they had basically left the show and they were doing something that was not Power Ranger connected, but they were like doing live action tours or some bullshit. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. It's also not important for this video. So, for 27 years, I've been in this business and ain't got no goddamn job. Not one damn job. Alright? So technically will be the start of the 27th year. Let's call that. Alright? Because we're halfway through. It is April. And that is what? January, February, March, April. So it's the 4th month of 2023. So you might as well say 27 years starts now. And I decided that I was just going to build myself out as a native. That's why I changed my name to Echo Fang Grey Wolf. That's why I introduced myself as Echo Fang Grey Wolf, because I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. James Williams Jr. is still in the back of my head. So when I get paid, my paychecks will say James Williams Jr. Because of military reasons, I can't legally change my name because I don't want to lose any benefits that I'm entitled to when I turn 60. So getting that out the way. Oh yeah, I probably need to end this that thing and cut this clock off because it's 11:39 and I don't want this shit to interfere with the video. I'm also gonna end the video soon anyway. Got a late start. So, I had to decide, do I want to build myself out as native or keep going as mixed? Because going as mixed ain't working. Going as mixed has barely worked for The Rock, but The Rock's also 6'6" or 6'7". I don't know how tall The Rock is. Let's find out. How tall is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson is 6 feet 5 inches tall.
Okay, so he's 6'5". All right, I'm 5'3". I am never gonna see 6'5". All right, but it doesn't mean that I can't act. It just means I haven't been given any opportunities. And I say this about this all the time. There are a lot of people who get opportunities and just throw them the fuck away. Well, I've never gotten one. Never got one for the UFC. Never got one for the shit that I wanted to do. And I've never been able to grasp the brass ring because no one's given me a shot or put me in a place where I can actually reach the goddamn ring. So, chase your dreams, man. Chase them with everything you have. And don't let people get in your way. I let my family get in my way. They're still in my way, and I'm still fighting to get my shit done. But I do know, hopefully, when this happens, everything is going to take its place. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm ending this now because somebody's going to ruin the video. So, thank you guys for watching. Be seeing you.